All right. Well, hello there. Donald Henderson here. Today's video is going to be about why we can't get ahead, creating sustainable income. What I'm going to talk about today is something I have a lot of passion for. It's financial literacy. And what does that mean? It means understanding how money works, your money works, and what does it really mean for your life and long-term life. So in our culture, American culture, we're lucky if we are taught the basics of money. I remember back when I was a math tutor in college, I had people coming into the math lab that couldn't even balance a checkbook. I know that's kind of passé today, but it's just basic math. They didn't understand how that worked out. It wasn't the math necessarily, that got to them. It was like, what does this mean? So the formula has basically been, especially in my lifetime, traditionally, you go to school, you get good grades, good enough to get into a good college, get good grades, maybe go to graduate school, but so you can get a good job, good. Then you work hard, maybe get some raises and promotions, do what your boss wants you to do, retire, and die. That's basically what it is if you think about it. It's not about you having a great life, it's about what you're going to do to make the money so that you can live. So my question is, many of us, especially today, they don't have retirement accounts. They don't have like a pension or a 401k. Those are going away. And with the stock market being so topsy-turvy, you don't know how much money you're going to have when you retire. So what happens is that we start thinking about, I'm going to work until I die. Is that living? No. Jobs are just ways to trade your time, which is your life, for money. And when I say your life, is that you're not going to get that time back. We continue to get older. We don't know when we're going to die, but we continue to get older, get more tired, and we still have bills to pay. Even if you paid off your house and your car and all that, everything's going up, right? So you still got to make money. Isn't there more to your life than selling your life away? And this isn't just for, middle-class people, working-class people. This is for everybody. The people in the C-suite that are in corporations on the very top that have the nice houses, the nice cars, the nice clothes, the jewelry, the whole bit, the golf club memberships, all that kind of stuff. They're doing the same thing. I mean, they may have some insurance, some other things. They may invest some of their money so they have a little bit of a nest egg, but they're still trading their time for money. Working for your income, working to support yourself is not sustainable. Everyone is susceptible to the same risk factors to losing your income. You work for companies, any kind of company. There's layoffs, there's terminations, there's economic factors, industry changes. Industry changes, like for instance, there's something you're doing today that AI or a robot will start doing tomorrow. I mean, just look over history, how they make cars now. It used to be people out there with wrenches and stuff that used to make cars. Now you see these robots coming down and putting the parts together. That used to be someone's job, okay? And that's happening all the time. Your health, your age, catastrophic events. I don't care if you're 21 or 61, things happen. You can get in an auto accident, a skiing accident, you can have a heart attack, stroke, whatever. I mean, even young people have these situations. You can break something. You can break a leg, and now you don't have use of that leg you used to, and that was required for your work. Losing your vision, okay? You can't do what you used to do because you can't see. So basically, when that happens, over time, if you can't work, the money stops coming in. And what are you going to do? I mean, people go on disability, state disability. Sometimes they have insurance through their companies. That's usually a fraction of what you were making before, and it doesn't last forever, okay? Social Security does, but if you watch Social Security, the raises they give you, the COLAs, the cost of living adjustments, don't even keep up with the inflation that they report. So over time, you're just going farther and farther backwards. Okay? Your time is limited. Our lifespans are limited. We don't know when we're going to die. You know, you may outlive your money. If you do have like a retirement account, 401k, you think, wow, I got $1 million in there. Lump sums are not sustainable. Life happens. Trust me. Been there, done that. You can go burn through your 401k really fast, especially with health issues. Okay? Not everything is covered. Not everything is free. So anyhow, you're going to die someday. Fact of matter. And if you're supporting a family and you're one of the breadwinners, you know, and something happens to you, now your family suffers as well. So our lifespans are limited, and so is how much we have time in a day. We all have just 24 hours in a day. I don't care if you're a janitor or a CEO of a company or Bill Gates or Elon Musk. You have 24 hours in a day. It's what you do with that time that matters. And if you're working most of it, that's your life. Okay, so let's see here. Same thing. If regardless of whether you're rich or poor, black or white, male or female, old or young, we only have 24 hours. We all start the same thing every day, 24 hours. Here's some quotes for you. Jim Rohn, he said that time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. There's a little caveat to that, and I won't go over it in this video. Maybe I'll go over it in another video coming down the line. But basically, the clock is always ticking. You know, you can take a physical clock, your watch, you can reset the time or whatever. But time itself never stops moving. So, you know, if you waste a day doing, you know, watching TV all day long, that was a day you could have got something else done. You're not going to get that day back, okay? So, and your time is more valuable than money. You can always make more money, always. And I'm not talking about working overtime, okay? But you can't get that time back. You can't reset the clock. You can't turn it back. You can do it with a physical clock, but the real time you cannot get back. Warren Buffett famously said, if you find a way to make money while you sleep, now hear me on this one, while you sleep. In other words, you're not even awake. You're not even managing anything. It's just happening. If you can't figure out a way to make money coming in when you're not involved, when you're asleep, you will work until you die. And many people think that today, that you're going to work until you die. And you may feel that way, that, you know, it's like you're looking at your, you know, your income and the like, and your savings and whatever else you have, unless you have some investments that are doing well, you're probably going to say that, you know, this is not sustainable. I'm going to work until I die. Otherwise, I can't feed myself or my family. So how can we do that? How can we get out of that rat race, as it were? And how can we make it work for us without having to work more? Okay. Yeah, of course, you can go back to school and get more skills. You can get a higher end job, but it's still a job. You still have 24 hours a day. You still have limited access to the money you're making, you know. Time is a limited resource, and so is your body. If you're doing something physical, trust me, look at me, I'm not a spring chicken. The body starts to break down after a while. You can't lift like you used to for whatever reasons. You know, just you're wearing out, or you have surgery and you have limitations, things like that. So those are two limited resources, your muscles, your body, and time. So how do you do this? What does it take to start getting the money coming in while you're asleep? We create assets. We either buy them or create them. Now, what are assets? And I'll tell you what assets are not. Assets are not like your car. You know, you've got a car payment, you know, money is going into it. You want assets, something that's going to pay you, right? Your house, you have a house payment. you know, and even if you didn't, on both those things, you have insurance, gasoline, fixing things up, everything, you know, just like people, things wear out, got to keep putting money into it. So what is an asset? Now, according to Robert Kiyosaki, an asset is something that puts money into your pocket, whether you work or not. Now, his area of expertise was real estate. So you say you buy a house that you're going to rent out, you charge enough rent to pay for the mortgage and repairs and everything else, and you have money left over. That's an asset. Where your own home is not an asset because you're putting money into it. It's not putting money into you. Excuse me a second. So what are these assets? Okay, so what are some examples of these assets? Like I just said, cash flowing real estate. Positive cash flow is coming into you. So you rent it out, you have tenants, they pay the rent, it covers your mortgage and everything else, and you have some left over to pay, you. Or use that money to leverage it to buy other real estate. Publishing your book, okay? These are called royalties. So every time someone buys your book, a percentage of that is coming to you. Okay, you already wrote the book, got it published, the whole bit, but now you're not working it anymore. So say if it's a book that becomes internationally successful, someone over in China could buy your book while you're sleeping and you're making money, okay? What else we got here? Creating a business that runs with little or no input from you. Like a restaurant, whatever. You know how to cook food and how to run a business. You can build that up to where you have employees that take care of the business. You have servers, you have cooks, you have people, managers that take care of them and also take care of, buying supplies and the like. It takes some time, but you can build that up. You can go on vacation to Hawaii and know that, you look at your business account and you see that how much you made that day and you weren't there, okay? Something like an apple tree farm. Okay, sure, you're not gonna produce apples 7 by 24, but you can build that up to where when you sell or harvest your apples, you get more out of it than what you put into it, okay? That's another way of making money while you sleep. And there are many, many other ways. You could probably think of a lot. Okay, so how do we learn these things that'll help us get out of the worker lifestyle and into an investor lifestyle? Well, there's a lot of things you can do. Like where you're at right now, you're on YouTube, you're on social media. YouTube is fantastic for learning new things. I have learned so much stuff from how to fix my dryer to different investing ideas, mindset, faith, whatever. You can learn it on YouTube. Also, what you can do is you can buy or check out from the library if you don't have the money or you don't want to pay for it, books on investing. Take that. Or there's usually at the local community college, there's classes available that'll teach you about investing. You can do that. Playing games. Like for instance, Monopoly. It's been around way before I was born, but it teaches you about investing, like, how many little houses do you need to buy a red hotel, things like that. Or Cash Flow 101. Now, I like Cash Flow 101 because to me it's Monopoly on steroids. Very similar concept. And this is what the box looks like. There's different versions of it, but it's always got a purple background. They make these for kids as well. But this was designed not for entertainment, but to teach you how to invest, okay? And I highly recommend it. I don't make any money, pitching this. This is something I have taught and I learn from, and I highly recommend it. And we'll talk more about it here in a second about why I think it's so great. So anyhow, Cash Flow 101. Let's see here, where are we? There's many things you're gonna learn by playing this game. One, you're gonna learn stuff about yourself and such things as risk tolerance. When you first play the game, you may be very cautious and not willing to buy certain assets yet because you don't quite understand them, which is what happens in real life. And you find out that you're going to play it safe, and the thing you find out about playing it safe, you're going to go bankrupt. Okay, so over time, you figure out your risk tolerance and you learn how to expand that. Okay. You learn some documents, the income statement and balance sheet. One thing Robert Kiyosaki says is that he has never gone to a bank to look for a loan for a business or an investment, and they asked him for his school records, like what was his GPA. They don't care, but they want to look at your income statement and balance sheet to see how you are financially. And by learning how to do that, not only does it help you to know where you are, you should, if you play this game, do this for your own personal life and see where you are. But in the game, you play it, and you start learning how to analyze it and look at it and see what, within your risk tolerance, what you're willing to do. Can you afford that? If you're going to buy a rental house or buy some gold coins or whatever, does it fit? Does it make sense with where you're going, where you want to go? Excuse me. And, where you are right now. Let's see what else we got here. Also, playing this game creates a safe environment to experiment. Now, by playing this game, and I encourage you, if you do play it, to play it over and over again, because the learning continues, because you have different scenarios, different people come to play, so on and so forth, is that you will start feeling good enough in the game, because you're not playing with your own money, you're playing with the monopoly money, fake money. You can try things and see how it feels and how it works, so you can learn. If you fail and go bankrupt, you can start over again and start playing again, okay? In real life, trust me, that's a hard thing to do. So you can learn it there, and then if that's something you want to do out in real life, then you can go take that to the next step. You can either get mentors or training or whatever and try it in real life, but at least you'll know how things feel to you, because feelings has a lot to do with investing. How you can do that, because if you fail in real life, that's much more painful than failing in a game, okay? So it gives you a safe place to do that. Let's see what else we got here. So what you learn in this game is how to get out of the rat race. Where's my paper here? Okay, this is a picture of the game board. If you've played it before, you know what I'm talking about. And inside here, right around the rat, that's called the rat race. That's where we all are, or we all start out, okay? What the rat race is basically you work for your money, you have your bills, some things happen to you that you do not plan for, like suddenly your kids need braces. You weren't thinking about that when they were born, were you? Or someone gets sick, or you get laid off. Things happen here, and you get stuck here, okay? So basically, everything that you do, you have to work for. In other words, you work for money. Then you start learning how to buy some assets, and you start building up some assets to where you can bring some money in. Okay, how you get out in this thing on the outside, the fast track, how you get out there is when your assets that you bought are now paying you enough to cover all your expenses, so you don't have to work anymore. Now, when you get in the fast track, this is where all the big players are. You can get to what they consider winning. I forgot the actual limits on the games, and I think they're different depending when the game was made. But anyhow, once you hit that crescendo there, you win the game. So you're out of the game. So basically, when you're out here, you took your assets you got here to pay for your expenses to get you out here, and now you're buying assets to buy more assets and to do the things that you've always hoped for in life. Okay, that's what that is, getting out of the rat race. So that, if you want to work the rest of your life, that's fine. But this gives you an option of having other income to where if you can't work, you can still live and have a good life. So that's why I push it. Okay, what else we got here? As you play it, it starts to improve your money mindset, your beliefs about money. You start thinking about money in different ways, because if you ever study things about how people think about money, depending on their social economic status, it's completely different. Whether you're blue collar, what's the word I'm looking for? A working class person, middle class somewhere, or rich people. The rich think about money and a lot of different things, a lot differently than most of us do. And they do things because their brain works that way, okay? when we're at a lower level, we think more in like paying bills and buying cars and going into debt and things like that. What they're doing is looking for opportunities to do even better, to build companies, to hire employees, hire people like us in middle class. That's how we make our money, because they've created something. And you start to learn that as you play this game. So you start having the ability to see opportunities where you didn't see them before. So when you start out, I would say, play with your family and friends, and especially your kids. I'll talk about that in a second. Anyhow, to buy one of these boxes, I think it's for up to 6 players. Am I getting this upside down again? Yeah, here we go. Right now, if you go to Amazon.com, a new game is about $90. I don't think RichDad.com carries them anymore. I think they go through Amazon, let them sell for them. And there's newer versions. There's kid versions, which I highly recommend. Kids, we're going to get to that in a second. And you can buy used versions probably on Amazon and eBay, things like that, much cheaper. Just be wary, like anything you buy used, there might be missing pieces or whatever. But regardless, it's a great game. It's a great teaching experience. Or you can play at a Cashflow 101 event, and what they are basically you can go on like meetup.com. Some investors who want to help other investors come up to speed will throw these out in there. Sometimes they're very large. I've been to ones in Sacramento, California that had maybe 20 tables. Each table has 6 people in it. And what they do there is they teach you the basics up front, and then as they go along, the people who are running it will coach you if you have questions. And also, as you go along, as you get more involved in the game, they take about 3 hours, give or take, to play the game. They'll throw some scenarios out there like there's a stock market crash, or suddenly this industry takes off, and how does that affect your portfolio, kind of a thing. And you're with people with all different backgrounds and all different experiences. It's great. I had one that I went to that, as a player, a couple of guys came in and they were much more advanced than anybody else in that room, maybe with the exception of the people putting on the game. And some of the people that was their first game, they were kind of intimidated because they were doing things above the rules of the game. The rules for 101, the very basics, okay? These guys were like, say PhD level of experience, and how they were able to do partnerships and all this other stuff. I mean, it was some very advanced stuff. Because they knew that, they were able to leverage the game and win so quick, get out of the rat race so fast, because they knew what was possible. So you get to see that there too. Okay, so so I taught this in my local library. I had some cash flow games there, and then I decided to take it up a notch to an academic level, and I taught it a couple times at the local college in more of a academic format, more than just a game. And so that was fun. But man, I just love doing it. And one thing you notice about these games, if you attend them, when it first starts out, the people running it are very busy. They're explaining the basics, what the cards are, what the concepts are, leverage, investing, cash flow, all that kind of stuff. And as the game goes on, you'll notice that, which is what I did. I just sat in a seat and I was just there if they had questions, because people start teaching each other. Some people understand things that other people don't, and vice versa. And it's a collaborative environment. And people think about getting into investing like it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's competitive. Yeah, there's competition, but there's more collaboration than I think competition, and that's really beautiful to see. What else we got here? Oh, now for the kids. Man, this is something I did not expect, and it just warms my heart. It really does. If you go, maybe not necessarily to an event, depending, it might be not kid friendly, it might be more adult oriented, if you know what I mean. Some language and some competition. You might get some people out there that are really competitive. But if you do it at home, start there with them. And I don't care how old they are. I mean, if 2 years old is probably too young, but kids in elementary school, I watched people when they brought their kids. And think of it like the Rubik's Cube. You give a Rubik's Cube to a little kid and they go, done. You give it to an adult and they want to hit it with a hammer. It's because as adults, we get very fixed on how we do problem solving. And there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. Kids don't have those rules in their heads yet. They think more laterally. They would see like, well, how about this? Would this work? And things like that. And man, I had kids that after a couple of times playing that they would always get out of the rat race real quick. And the adults had some difficulty with that. Sure, when they're younger, you're gonna have to help with some concepts. They may not understand it exactly, but they learn really quick on how to do things. And you may have to help them with the mechanics, like how to use the cards or move the game pieces because they can't reach, do the basic math. And that's one thing about this game. It's not, you don't need, third year calculus to play the game. You don't need to have 14 years of finance training. It's all basic math. But you still may need to help them with some of those basics because they haven't developed it yet. But you'll be blown away. For a while before I quit teaching it, we also, and I don't think you can buy it anywhere unless it's used, they have a Cashflow 202 that takes you into the stock markets, things like that, something a little more esoteric than this 101 level is. And I had one kid in there, and I don't think he was an Einstein, but he picked up the concepts really quick, and he and his dad were there, and he was playing better than his father. And this is a kid that's maybe 5th, 6th grade, maybe first year of middle school. And it's just amazing. So I really recommend, if you're gonna go down this path, bring your kids with you, because just think of that. By the time they're ready to move out of the house or they're done with school, whatever, they're more likely to get out of the rat race than probably you did or anyone else in your family did. And isn't that a great gift? Okay, so what else we got? We got the mechanics. Oh, and last but not least, if I haven't said it already, I don't get paid. I'm not a sponsor. I'm not an employee. I just think this game is great for learning these things, okay? And it's not the only way to learn it, or the only place you should be learning it. There's so much more that even in this game will teach you. Okay, that's it for today. Hey, thanks so much for watching my video. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. Do me a big favor. Go to the bottom, click on like, click on subscribe, ring the bell. That way you get more of my videos as they come out, and share them with others. Hit the little share button and send it to people. Send them a link, whatever. If you think it will help them. My goal here is I want to get my videos out as much as possible all around the world. It's not an ego thing. It's not an ego thing. What it is, I want to help people. I really want to see people succeed, do better in life. It's like when I taught the cash flow game. When people would come in, they don't even know what cash flow means, or they don't know what an asset is. By the time they're done, they do, and that I hope that they can take that and put it in their real life and be more, be bigger, make more money, have more security, have more fun in life. Anyhow, if you could do that, I would so appreciate it. And for now, I will see you at the next video. Have a great day.